The best music all weekend.
Oh, yes, much more music power for you. We got it for you. We're just kicking things off. We got a lot of great music on the way. All the great songs that other radio stations stopped playing decades ago, and they're coming back one great song at a time right here on the Totally 70s Radio Network. Oh, yes, look at that. Even Creeper likes disco. There you have it. There's always a better song on Music Radio.
Music Radio.
Ah, yes, and Yvonne Elliman. That would be her right there. It's 9:47 here on Totally 70s. Mr. 70s at the controllers, just getting geared up, stacking up your favorites in stereo. We got a whole bunch of them like this one from Ray Parker Jr. in radio. It's on your radio at Totally 70s.
Honey, I'll always love you. I need you.
On Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's #1 choice. Weatherman says cloudy, 40% chance of showers. We haven't seen much of that lately. Highs around 73. And tomorrow, cloudy, gradual clearing by afternoon time, and a high near 81. 77. Music Radio, Totally 70s. It was all over the airwaves back around 1982. Paul Davis's 65 Love Affair. It's 9:54 here on Totally 70s. Yes, guys, the good songs, we got them for you. It's something you want to hear, let me know in the chat room. And actually, what do you say we open up those phone lines? Something you want to hear? 845-454-6862. Call me, we'll get it on.
One too many times.
Oh, yes, every once in a while you get one of those songs that I can play over and over and over again. The Cars from Boston, it's all I can do on Music Radio. Yep. It's the Totally 70s Radio Network. Well, we got a couple of minutes before 10 o'clock, and yeah, you know how it is. I wanted to start my show at 9 o'clock, but I just couldn't seem to get in the door quick enough. Well, actually, I got in just before 9 o'clock, and I was all sweaty from the day. And you don't want to, Nick, you don't want to hear the gory details, do you? Not really, right?
No. The Retro Cafe, Sunday nights from 6 to 9 on America's #1 choice for better music.
Totally 70s.
Music Radio, Totally 70s is America's #1 choice for better music. You know, every once in a while you ask yourself why a certain song didn't make it real big into like the top 10 or the top 5. And back when that LP came out in 1979, there was really only a couple of small hits on it. And actually, that was probably one of the bigger ones. I know Getting Closer charted a little bit, and that one there, and I think the Rockestra, whatever it was, there were like 3. I know there was a total of 3, but between all of them, none of them really did that well. That one should have done a lot better. It's 12 minutes after 10 o'clock here on Totally 70s. Lisa, I had a chance to take a look at your Facebook, the Now Explosion. I knew I had it. Let me take a moment out and thank Mark Allen for telling me what year it came out, because all my K-Tel, Ronco, and Animate stuff are pretty much in year order. And judging by the price tag on this of $2.99 that says Kingston International, I can tell you exactly where it came from. Back when Donna and I first started dating, there was a little record store up in Kingston, New York. It was mostly rock and roll stuff. They had this bargain bin of K-Tel and Animate albums. We went in there. All of them were priced to go at $2.99 a piece. I don't know, Lisa. I'd say that this is probably pretty darn good shape for all things considered. Factory sealed when I bought it over 20 years ago. Let's see how it sounds now. Here's Maureen McGovern on Totally 70s.
There's got to be a morning after. It's got to be a morning after.
Ah, yes, long before the Titanic movie, there was the Poseidon Adventure back in 1972, starring Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, and a whole bunch of others. It's 15 minutes after 10 o'clock here on Music Radio, Totally 70s. Hey, Lisa, listen, if your copy doesn't sound as good as mine the next time you come to visit, just kindly switch vinyl. Nobody will even notice. I can't even believe I told you to do that. Here's Tommy James on 70s.
She was all the lady.
Music Radio, Totally 70s was a small hit back in 1980, but a big Mr. 70s pet record. If you can see my wink, Henry Cotterill. It's 20 minutes after 10 o'clock, and since we were breaking out the Adam 8 records, I figure what the heck, we'll give this one a try and see how this one sounds too. Here's the Staples Singers on 70s. To you too.
I know a place.
Music Radio, totally 70s. I kind of like these Adam 8s. Best thing I like about it is they say the original hits by the original artists.
Radio.
And they didn't do a K-Tel or a Ronco hack job on most of these either. Most of these selections are at the full length, which is kind of unheard of from these compilations of the 70s, which you mentioned earlier, right, Glenn? Thank you for that. It's 10:22 here on Totally 70s. Your weekend weather, mostly cloudy for the overnight. 40% chance of showers. They're still in the forecast, but it really hasn't done much of anything here in New York. Lows around 73 for the overnight. And for tomorrow, cloudy, gradual clearing by afternoon time and a high around 81. So the humidity and the temps are going to drop just a little bit, make it comfortable for that last day of checking out those World War I and II fighters over there at the Dutchess County Airport at the air show. So should be a good time for that. Right now it's 77 degrees in New York at Totally 70s.
Hey kids, it's Blake the Kid Richards.
Music Radio, totally 70s. I don't mind the long version of that record at all. 1978, a number one hit for Exile and Kiss You All Over. It's 10:31 here on Totally 70s Music Radio. You're just hopping aboard. Welcome. Saturday night at the 70s rolls on with McGuinn, Clark, and Hillman. Music Radio, totally 70s. Well, I just heard from Nick Tangway a couple of minutes ago, and he said in honor of 9/11 tomorrow, he wanted to flood the Totally 70s radio network with a bunch of patriotic songs. And, well, Nick, I can only hope and pray that you be sure to include this one of my all-time faves, 1970. Here's the Brotherhood of Man on Totally 70s.
There's no